Well, hey everybody, downtown Dan Kelly here, standing near the entrance to the now abandoned Citizen Cemetery, which is located in Southwest Virginia, right near where I live. Matter of fact, I just walked here. Took me about 15 minutes to get here. I've lived here since 1996, and the cemetery has been in rough shape since we moved here, and it's just now totally abandoned. And sometimes citizens groups come in and try to help out, but as we know, any cemetery has to be cared for perpetually, and this just isn't. I'll talk more about that here later, but we're going to go right through the heart of the cemetery, established in 1891. See the condition of the cemetery and the graves and the folks who are buried here and how their grave plots look today. And so come along, let's have a look at the Citizen Cemetery, founded 1891. Let's go. As I said, community groups have tried many times over the years to clean up Citizen Cemetery, but it's just too much for people. They can only come here so often, and the money all ran out years ago. It's a shame. I hope the souls resting up here don't mind me walking around the cemetery on this October afternoon. Come along, let's go. Coming up the stairs here in the cemetery, and the stairs are still pretty solid. They're pretty rotten though. As you can see, coming right up, the tombstones are really rough shape, the ground all grown over. Last time I was up here, I saw one of the largest black snakes I've ever seen. Almost stepped right on him, and hopefully all the snakes have gone to the ground, although it's a pretty warm day. I may see a snake or two. The person buried here was a Mason. See the symbol there? He never knew what condition, when he was alive, his cemetery would be in. Again, walking through here, you get a sense of just how bad a shape the cemetery's in. In many cases, the gravestones have fallen over and they're completely covered. This one's very shifted, leaning the wrong way. Goldenrod, or whatever that is, everywhere. I'm not sure what that is. Growing in abundance up here. Somewhere up here, there is a grave completely sunk in. And I'm keeping an eye out for that. The tombstone's here in pretty good shape. This person was buried here in 1973. And if this cemetery gets anything done to it at all, if these graves are ever cleaned up at all, it's because relatives come through here and they'll do it themselves. Problem is though, the people who are buried here, their relatives probably all passed away or gone. Here is that grave that is so sunk in. The camera angle does not do justice, but last time I was here, it was so deep you could just about fall into it. That person was buried here in 1950, and the wife was obviously buried somewhere else because no date on her year of death, or maybe they never got around to putting it on there. Someone has been up through here. People have been, because I'm following a path that's been worn down. Maybe deer followed, I'm not sure, but as you can see, this is just in terrible shape. These poor souls buried here in this cemetery with no idea when they were alive that their final resting place here in the cemetery would be in such bad shape. This individual buried here was in the military. He was a private first class, 367 Infantry Division in World War I. Buried here in 1958. His grave is just terrible shape. Tombstone's still in pretty good shape, but area around it obviously is not. Unless something dramatic happens, eventually this will be so overgrown that you can't get in here, and you will never know that there was a cemetery here. This is one of numerous family plots. It's completely grown over. What a shame. A family, I'm guessing probably late 1800s, bought this plot. There are the ruins of gravestones back in there. Bought this plot thinking that, you know, someone would tend to it and take care of it, but of course they did not. I think this is the spot where I saw that massive black snake 2 or 3 years ago that I almost stepped on. I hope he's down underground somewhere. They are harmless, but I don't want to encounter any snakes today. These are all graves of veterans right here. All of these three right here. Numerous war veterans. This is Frederick D. Penn from New York, private first class, Army, World War II. Died December 14th, 1967. Thank you, sir, for your service to our country. I'm sorry your final resting place is in such bad shape. Rest in peace. Looking back behind me, you can see that there's a pretty steep bank back there. The cemetery, most of it, was built right into the hillside, going back to 1891 when it was established. And there's a pretty well marked path right here I'm walking through. But there again, very sad to see it like this. People, when they were living, paid for plots and be buried here, and families had tombstones put up, and now it's in such bad shape. It's just a sad thing to see. Common situation in cemeteries all over America, maybe all over the world, that they are overgrown and derelict. A lot more gravestones up here. A lot of them still standing. We'll have a look. Again, another family plot right there. You really can't tell. Underneath all that brush, there is the remnants of a wall, a stone wall all around it, but all grown up. Now there's graves, tombstones rather, and graves too, turned over, but the weeds have totally taken them over. You'll be walking through here and you'll see a tombstone like this one that is in really great condition. And there again, many of these graves have sunken in. I'm afraid to actually walk out too close. We'll see if I can get the date on that tombstone. This is actually a double marker. The person on the right died in 1968. The tombstone is very well preserved, as many of them are. Again, looking back through here, I see numerous tombstones of war veterans. Thank all of you for your service to our country. God bless you all. Rest in peace. It's a large family plot here, and numerous people buried there, but their tombstones have fallen over and are now underneath all of this foliage, branches, leaves, undergrowth, and have been overgrown. The wall here, you can see, was once probably in good shape. It's all in ruins now. This is a monument dedicated to numerous people. I think they're all buried right around here. Some died in 1912, 1907, 1904, 1886. The one on the bottom was born in August of 86, died in March, I believe, get a better look, March of 1911. So this individual is only about 15 years old. We know back in those days, things that we have antibiotics for now and simple surgeries for could certainly kill you back then. Who knows what, Truxton was his name, Truxton Harper. Who knows what killed Truxton? Could have been a sickness. Rest in peace, Truxton. I'm glad I visited your grave today, and those of your family. They're all Harpers, all of them last name Harper. I'm going to make my way up here to a family plot that is in really bad shape. I think there's some children buried up here. And there again, I can't stress enough, I don't feel creeped out at all being here. In fact, it's a very peaceful place. I live a 15-minute walk from here. You would think I'd come more often, but I don't. I don't know, it's just sad to see it. And I mean, it's only 3:45 in the afternoon, so anybody going to be partying, I think they would come at night. Although I admit I would not wish to be here at night. During the day I feel perfectly safe, and I don't really believe in ghosts and things, but the Bible says that God gave us a spirit, appointed a man once to die in the judgment. I hope all these people are sleeping at peace. I hope they are, really. I wanted to get out here and get my backpack off for a minute. Right behind me is a family plot, and it's barely discernible now, but there is a very old iron railing here surrounds the family plot here, and there's a tombstone back in there. I'm going to have a good look at it. It says "Our Mothers," so I think there are two people buried there, two women, looks like, both of them mothers to someone. We'll go in here in a minute and have a look, but I can't help but think about all the people who came here to visit their loved ones over the years. I'm sure at one time this was a beautiful place. It was so overgrown, but then, as so often happens, the cemetery ran out of money. Everybody who had loved ones buried here, they moved away, they died off, and it just went derelict. Such a shame. This is the grave of two mothers, Martha Lucas and Phoebe Butler. Martha died in 1911. Phoebe died in 1886. Both of them would have been very early buried here, since the cemetery was opened in late 1800s, and so they were some of the original people buried here. God bless you, ladies. May you rest in peace. This is the iron railing I was telling you about a moment ago that surrounds the Our Mother's burial plot, and it extends around the entire family plot right here. As you can see, just so derelict and grown up. I'm having to bend my head down just to be able to get this footage. But I imagine at one time this was really amazing to see such a peaceful place. Still peaceful, but overgrown. God bless these souls. Now I came in right in the center of the cemetery, straight up. But I'm going to go out through a better access road that's not nearly as hard to travel. And again, more tombstones back in there, just completely overgrown, just in such terrible shape. The family plot I was just at, you can hardly see it from over here. Well, fortunately, I have this cleared area to walk through. I came through right up here. As you're looking down through all that brush, I had to really fight my way through a lot of that, but I made it through. And again, I'm thankful for this access road that I can come through. I don't know if that was the intention. It could be that somebody keeps this clear to come up here occasionally and clear some of the brush away from the headstones. But as you can see, it would take a team of people weeks to really clean this up right. And then you have the job of keeping it clean, and that's the problem. Cemeteries require perpetual care and cleaning, grass cutting, weed eating, and this just stopped many, many years ago. In fact, I've lived here close to 27 years, and I think it's been like this since I moved here in 1996. Again, more of this iron railing around this cemetery plot here. I mean, the houses are so close, someone's dog is barking at me over there. But it might look creepy to you, but and I can see why you think it was creepy, but you know, these poor souls resting here in this place. The gate is very much intact. I'm not going to go in there and walk around. I could, but it's just, I don't want to disturb the people buried there. But as you can see, that gate and the railing itself is amazing. I can't imagine what that would cost today to have this amazing railing all the way around your family plot. And this is one of the larger ones I've seen here. An entire family probably buried here. Had no idea that their graves would be so derelict someday. Over the years, neighborhoods just grew up right around this cemetery, and the highway is just right down here. You can probably hear trucks and cars in the background. But at some point, as I said, the cemetery ran out of money. Not enough volunteers to keep it going, and the whole thing just went derelict. Such a shame. Interesting, a little concrete bench right here. Been here a long time. It's in pretty good shape. A person could come up here and just sit and meditate if they wanted to. All the squirrels have sure been doing their work on that bench right there. Just up past the concrete bench, this area over here is a little more clear than other parts of the cemetery. Now this is interesting. You've got husband and wife here. Their dates of birth. Fanny was born 1917, Fred Sr. born in 1910, but their dates were never completed. So they were either buried here and no one got around to ever adding the date of death, or they were buried somewhere else. And here we have a veteran by the name of Fred Richardson from Virginia, a Vietnam veteran, and PFC infantry, 25th, died in 1966, born in 46, died in 66 at 20 years old. I wonder if he was killed in action over there. If so, thank you, sir, for your service to our country. God bless you. May you rest in peace. This access road I'm walking on will make getting out of the cemetery so much easier. I had you right up in the heart of the cemetery, and now I'm on the outskirts walking down this well-cleared path. And whoever keeps this path cleared, thank you very much. It's made my documentary so much easier. As you can see at that hillside, some of these gravestones are a little more accessible. I just wonder if anybody ever comes up here to visit them, any relatives. I have no way of knowing. Well, that wraps it up today with an exploration of the now abandoned Citizen Cemetery. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was my first mini documentary ever, and maybe I'll do this again sometime. Come back up and hear the birds singing. It's been a very beautiful day for this, but hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I'll get back to some music coming up and working on some new songs and some new videos. And so come back and please subscribe and hit the like button on the video and leave some comments. Let me hear what you think of the old Citizen Cemetery. You have a great day. Hope to see you again sometime. God bless. Take care.